imagine donating to, and voting for a Democratic representative only for them to win their seat and then decide they're going to be a Republican? Well, if you're in Broward County, Florida, your Representative Hillary Cassel just did that, and it's totally legal. Hillary Cassel is the second Democrat to switch the Republican Party since November of this year, giving the Republican Party, who already has a supermajority in Florida, even more power. We're all curious, Hillary, maybe you could tell us what led you to abandon your entire political ideology after winning an election. I know I won't always agree on every detail with every Republican, but I do know that I will always have input, collaboration, and respect. I am not going to hold your hand when I say this because you're a grown-ass woman and I have my own children. The Republican Party won't even respect your uterus. What makes you think they're going to respect your opinion? Hey, Francesca, can you key up that leopard song, please? She went on to say that as a proud Jewish woman, she is increasingly troubled by the Democrats' willingness to tolerate these progressive voices and condone acts of terrorism. Oh, Hillary, if you don't like that, wait until you find out what the Christian nationalists are doing in the Republican Party. And guess what? No one's policing them either. But it is worth noting that the Florida head of the Democratic Jewish Caucus is like, babe, I don't know what you're talking about. Michael Gottlieb is like, we traveled and saw that the administration was supportive of Israel. I don't know what you're talking about. Hillary was not the first person to switch to the Republican Party during this election cycle. Look to Hillsborough Representative Susan Valdez, who didn't get what she wanted, so she's like, I guess I'm a Republican now? Donald Trump congratulated Hillary Cassel on switching over to the Republican Party and invited other disillusioned Democrats to join them. Broward County is one of the few and last remaining strongholds of the Democratic Party. Many of her constituents are claiming fraud and asking for their money back because they're like, I donated to help your cause, and now you're a Republican? I don't want that. Return, please. Only Florida doesn't have any recall mechanisms. So her constituents can't ask for a special election or recall election of any kind. The only way Hillary Cassel could be replaced is if the legislature had a 2/3 vote and decided to oust her, and that's never going to happen because guess who runs the Florida legislature? This isn't the first time a Democratic state representative has switched allegiances. Remember Trisha Cam from North Carolina? She was a staunch Democrat and had an affair with the Republican House Speaker, so she's like, I guess I'm a Republican now too. If I were a constituent, I would be incensed because you know that people don't just decide overnight to abandon deeply held ideological values. Obviously, she had been thinking about this for a time, and she ran for that seat knowing that she wasn't going to be a Democrat, which is vile. But it seems this is only a problem for the Democrats. You do not see Republicans switching sides to become Democrats. And I've already had people criticizing the Democratic Party saying this is what happens when you subscribe to the belief of vote blue no matter who. And look, I'm the first person to criticize the Democratic Party, but y'all need to stop and ask yourselves why the Republican Party isn't having the same problems. They're just as culty, if not more so. They just lost a congressperson in Texas for like a year, and they don't care. Republicans would elect a corpse if it meant that they could keep their majority. That is not to say the Democrats are without fault. It is to say that the Republicans are doing the exact same thing and yielding different results, and we need to look at why that is. But it's a lot like recruiting for a football team or a sorority or fraternity in that you're building out this platform of promises that you likely aren't going to be able to fulfill. And some programs are a lot more successful at that than others. That's messaging. And what have I said about Democrats and their messaging? Also, you, Hillary Cassel, what you did is gross.